Welcome, all you multifamily enthusiasts, to another episode of the Multifamily Real Estate Experiment podcast. Look, season three, we're still on our veteran, but today we're going to be talking to a person who's not a veteran. But look, here's why this topic is important to you. See, as you go from duty station to duty station, you are going to be purchasing the single family home. I say single family home because it's typical, even though this podcast is about multifamily real estate. And the reason why I want our guests to talk to you about this today, because a lot of us, we focus on cash flow. And it's important to understand some of those ninja tips that we can use to maximize our cash flow. See, Miss Isabel Guarino, over the past 10 years, Miss Isabelle and company R.A.L Academy has been on a mission to educate over 5,500 people on how to achieve financial and time freedom through residential assisted living. And we're going to dive into exactly what that is and why it's important to you, especially as a veteran who might have purchased a couple single family homes, right? So in 10 years, Isabelle and her team has helped 60,000 people and generated over, listen to this, man, it's a big number, over $30 million in revenue. So this is the lady you want to pay attention to. All right. So without further ado, Miss Isabelle, thank you for joining us on this podcast episode.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So before we dive into a little bit more, can you tell us, do you have a favorite real estate quote or mantra that drives you?
Yes, our company motto is to do good and do well. And that definitely drives me every day in the residential assisted living space.
Oh man. So the bio was brief. We talk about how you're impacting people. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you choose this avenue of approach in real estate investing?
Yeah. My father was a real estate investor for 40 years. He'd done all sorts of different things from apartments, wholesale, fix and flip, you name it. And when my grandmother fell ill, she actually broke her hip. The doctor said she can't go home alone. She needs 24/7 care and help with activities of daily living. And my family at that point was like, what do we do? Who's going to quit their job and take care of grandma full time? My dad, being a real estate investor, did quick math and realized, wait, I'm going to be paying $5,000 a month for her to live in one of these homes or facilities, or we could own the home. We could be cash flowing 10 grand a month and she could live for free. So he purchased an existing residential assisted living business and ended up falling in love with the industry, stopping everything else that he was doing along the way and dove all into this. I was the first employee he hired, and we helped build the company from there, now owning and operating 3 care homes and helping thousands of others across the country to do the exact same.
I love that story because that digs deep into a deep why, right? Currently, where my wife works right now, the reason why that gentleman started the senior living care facility, which is a large facility, is because of his grandma. He wanted to take care of the, I forgot, Kapuna, I think it's called Kapuna, where they call it in Hawaii, or the elderly. Finding a deep why definitely give your business more purpose, right? And also give you more fulfillment as well. So that's good to hear that, not good for the situation, but also good to see that your family actually see that as an opportunity, right? There's a silver lining to every cloud. So let's talk about basic. What is a residential assisted living?
Yeah, we say it's a single family home, but when I say that, I don't mean a 3-bed, 2-bath, a regular residentially zoned home. They are
Right.
typically larger, more upscale. Depending on where you live across the country, you're allowed to have somewhere between 6 and 16 residents in the home. So in Arizona, where I am, it's 10. In Hawaii, where you are, it's 6. In Texas, it's 16, right? It's all over the place. So based on that, it's a regular home, right, that you're converting to become friendly for the seniors. They want private bedrooms and bathrooms. So we're adding more bedrooms and bathrooms. We're adding ramps, guardrails, handrails, things to keep the seniors safe. Then you're hiring licensed administrator who hires the licensed caregivers, and they do all the day-to-day care. So you just own the real estate and operate the business. You don't work in the home, you don't live in the home, right? You don't take care of the seniors yourself, but you're providing this amazing opportunity for seniors who need housing and care, and they don't want to go into a big commercial facility.
Interesting. So I like that community setting. Now, my biggest focus is identifying the real estate that is feasible? What are some of the things that I should be considering whenever I look at a property that I'm considering for residential assisted living care?
The number one thing you want to focus on is the demographics of the area. You
Okay.
want to be where the majority population is 50 to 70 years old, making twice the median income, typically homeowners and college grads. That is not the senior living in the home. That's the adult child who typically decides that mom or dad needs care and where are they going to go. And oftentimes they're paying for the care. So we want to target them. We want to be right next door to them. So wherever they live, eat, work, sleep, play, that's where we want to be.
Interesting. And so you also mentioned that there's some modification to this property that need to happen, right? Do you purchase this property as a single family home, or can you purchase this as a business? For example, are you messing with any zoning criteria when purchasing these properties?
We purchase them as regular residential homes
Right.
because they're not businesses. So, like an HOA can't tell you that you can't have this
Okay.
because it's not a business, it's a home for seniors. And the seniors who live in your home, they're not moving in for fun, right? They're moving in because they need help. They need help with 3 to 5 activities of daily living. So, by this point in their life, they're actually considered disabled. If you can't get up anymore, if you can't wipe your bum or take a shower or feed yourself without help, you are considered disabled. And so they're a protected class through the Federal Fair Housing Act. So it's a beautiful thing. And for all the veterans listening, right, there's a real big opportunity with you can do this for a home for vets. Absolutely. There's so many senior citizens who are veterans who need care and assistance, and to open a home that's specifically for them is a beautiful opportunity.
That's good because look, a lot of us are heartbroken whenever we see, especially a homeless veteran or just homeless in general, right? So you often wonder, how did these folks get here? And a lot of people want to help. So this is a good situation. Now let's talk about the everyday average person, real estate investor who might have not considered this concept. So we know how to buy real estate, right? What are some of the nuances in getting this, in turning this into a business once we're now more aware?
Yeah, it really comes down to the real estate and then the care side of it, the
Okay,
business side of it. So in regards to the real estate, it's purchasing it, it's renovating it, it's getting it up to fire code. So when the fire marshal comes over, you get that stamp of approval and the license on the physical home to
right.
conduct your business there. On the operations side or the care side, it's really about hiring because you're not going to do the work, but you're going to hire the strategic people who will. And so it's finding that licensed administrator and those licensed caregivers who will work in the home, as well as getting together all of your documents and systems like policies and procedures, residency care plans, all those different things that you'll need within the home to run the business properly. A company like us, we help people get
Gotcha.
all that together. But if you're just going into this on your own, that's what you're going to need to sort out and get prepared.
Yeah, it's a good segue to tell us about RAL. Is RAL an acronym?
Yes, for residential assisted living.
Assisted
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Appreciate that. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business concept and how you have helped over 60,000 people to generate over $30 million in revenue?
Yeah, we have been training for over 10 years in live trainings here in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as online trainings. And my dad, prior when he was here, he passed in 2021. But before that, he was out traveling and sharing about this concept across the country. I now do that, just got back yesterday from Tampa, all over the place. We really love teaching people how to do this because really, when we look at single family investing, especially in right now, today's market, it is tough to cash flow. Airbnbs are not doing so hot right now. Single family rentals are rough unless you've owned the home for a long time and you've got a really low interest rate or low mortgage. It's tough to jump into the real estate market right now unless
Yeah.
you have great cash flow, like with a apartment or with a residential assisted living. And truly, when you look at the economics of our world, we're starting to separate, right? It's becoming all upper class and lower class. And at this point, it's you've got to hedge your bets and which one do you want to work with, because the middle class is starting to disappear. And so when it comes to apartments, especially if you're going to do low income or luxury apartments, great opportunity investment. When it comes to assisted living, same thing. We really want to target those seniors who can afford to be in the home, and the cash flow you can make from that, you can use that for whatever you want. Go buy a boat, buy a house, buy a car, or go give back to seniors who can't afford assisted living. It's all up to you what you do with your cash flow, but there's lots of opportunities in this industry.
Understood. For your company, do you have maybe five specific areas that you help folks who are venturing into this investment strategy with?
We actually help people all across the country. We have students in all 50 states. But if you're saying like topics we help on, not
Correct. Yes.
locations, okay, topics. So we're helping you on finding the home, what
Okay.
you're going to do with it, because there's also four ways you could build a custom home from the ground up, lease a home to use for this, renovate a single family home, or buy an existing business. So we show you all four of those ways, how to fund the project so you don't have to use your own capital, how to hire your managers and caregivers, what you need in all of your documents and things in regards to that. And then relationships. We help connect you with other people in the industry in your area, because the silver tsunami of seniors is
Yeah,
coming, and
it
we
is.
can't stop it. But this is a big and growing industry, and
Right.
you really want to make sure you're getting connected to the right people in the right way.
Got you. For these residential assisted living, who's paying for the care?
Most of the time, it's through the adult children or the
Okay.
seniors' capital savings investments, their IRA. Maybe they're selling their physical home that they used to own and use that capital to pay for their care needs.
Okay.
Some will use VA benefits like aid.
Yeah.
About 10% of the population has long-term care insurance, so some will use that. And some
Okay.
will use Medicare, Medicaid, but it's really not paying out very much. And so if that's what you're relying on, it's going to be a rough situation.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Now, this is definitely unique. But look, if you're a veteran and you purchase a couple of houses around the country, or if you move into a new location that meets the demographic of that suits fitting for senior living care, then absolutely consider reaching out to Isabel and our company to get some more education of how to exactly create this business. Isabel, we're gonna go to the fire round, which is your focus round. What do you do for fun?
Hike. I love
It's
hiking.
good. What is one opportunity that was a game changer for you?
Assisted living.
Sounds great. What is your favorite communication tip?
My favorite communication tip? Oh, be hot, honest, open, transparent.
I like that. Hot, hot. Okay. To what is one thing you wish you understood earlier?
Oh, you know what? Your perception is your reality. Everyone is living in a completely different world.
Yes, we all having a biological experience, right?
Yes.
To what do you attribute your success?
My father, I feel like he really taught me so much, and I'm so blessed to have grown up with an incredible father.
That is awesome that you are helping people to create a similar structure in their household. Because look, being broke in a household is it's tough and it's rough life. And it's
Yeah.
stressful. So when you help people to generate more income for themselves and their family, then I trust that they will be able to create more, to your point, as far as what you guys are trying to do, more financial and time freedom, financial freedom that relieves some stress, and also time freedom to enrich the relationship that you have as family. So, Mrs. Isabel, thank you so much for joining us today on this podcast. Do you have any parting guidance for our listeners?
If you're listening and you have a loved one who needs care and assistance, just know that there are options outside of large upscale facilities. Check for residential assisted livings in your area. And if you are an investor interested in getting into this space, reach out to us. We'd love to connect with you and help you on that journey. It's definitely an incredible industry where you can not only cash flow well, but you can make a really big impact on your family, your community, and the seniors. And it's just that perfect blend of doing good and doing well, like I said in the beginning there. So thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for having me.
No, thank you so much. If our listeners want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
The best way is to go to RAL101.com. You can get free webinars, free books, schedule a call with me or the team there, and you can follow us on all of the social media platforms at RAL Academy.
Thank you so much again, man. Listen, if you took the time to listen to this episode, I trust that this sparked some curiosity in you of the way you can maximize the income from your real estate. Because look, we're always looking for the highest and best use for every single piece of real estate. The American dream of just buying a home and paying off the mortgage should no longer be a thing. Cash flow is what we're looking at, and how can you maximize the revenue from the real estate? How do you turn that liability into an asset, and so understanding where money work and understand the highest and best use for that piece of property. So, Miss Isabel, thank you. And for your listeners, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Multifamily Real Estate Experiment Podcast. I'm Hutch, the Marine Investor, out.